Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on behalf of news from our crazy corner of YouTube. A big hello to the first person in the chat. It's only YouTube who says it's all making sense now. OMG. Like I said, this is a special bulletin. Information was received first thing today, pointing me in the direction of Ghost Speakers Corner, a certain YouTube channel. Far right scum off our streets, stroke Speakers Corner, stroke open panel, which was streamed live on Thursday, the 19th of December, 2024. It was brought to my attention to check out approximately 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 42 seconds into that said live stream, where, as you know, a bleeding heart made a very damaging statement that AJ Lashbrook's father was a paedophile. Having had a cursory Google search, we can see the following newspaper article published on the Devon Live. At this time, we are not suggesting that the Andrew Lashbrook in this article is the father of AJ Lashbrook. We're not making that claim. We're just bringing this to the attention of the audience. Oakhampton man who abused young girls given suspended sentence. Andrew Lashbrook pleaded guilty to 3 counts of sexual assault by touching, which took place 10 years apart. Reported by Carl Eve, crime reporter, at 16:27 on the 24th of August 2023. A 60-year-old man has been handed a suspended sentence after he admitted to grooming and sexually touching 2 young teenage girls on his day of his trial. Andrew Lashbrook of Crediton Road, Oakhampton, I hope I pronounced that right, appeared at Plymouth Crown Court, where prosecutor Mary McCarthy outlined the offences. Neither girl can be identified due to legal reasons, and details of the offences cannot be fully reported so as to protect the identity of the 2 girls. Lashbrook was charged with intentionally touching one of the girls who was aged under 16 at the time, sometime between March 2011 and October 2012. He was further charged with intentional touching of the same girl on October the 10th, 2012. In addition, Lashbrook was charged with intentionally touching a second girl aged under 16 between June 2020 and July 2021. The early offences only came to light after the second victim came forward and police carried out inquiries. Miss McCarthy told the court how retired farm worker Lashbrook had groomed the first girl over a period of time, offering her money for work she did, before he then began to make comments about her underwear before touching her sexually. It was suggested that the money was effectively hush money. The second girl was similarly treated, although he targeted her about 10 years after committed the offences on the first girl. When the second girl told her mother, who in turn called police, inquiries revealed his previous victim's awful experiences. A victim impact statement from one of the victims was read out in court, who said the consequences of Lashbrook's offending behaviour had left a mark on every aspect of my life. She said the damage had been irreparable. She said his treatment of her had left her angry and uncomfortable, affected her personal relationships, and she said she felt her innocence had been taken from me. The victim said she suffered anxiety issues, had difficulty sleeping, struggling to trust others, specifically men, and she had suffered panic attacks. She said she was now seeking therapy to resolve the last impact it had on my mental health. In mitigation, Lashbrook's advocate noted that his client had been married for 30 years, had retired due to health difficulties, and was now a carer for his wife who suffered from epilepsy. Judge Peter Johnson said he noted that Lashbrook had no previous convictions and that he had pleaded guilty, although this happened on the first day of the trial. He said the 60-year-old's first victim made it clear she did not relish the attention he was paying her, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He said the touching and comments were, it seems to me, all part of a grooming process. Judge Johnson highlighted the incident, which resulted in the second charge, describing how it came about and telling Lashbrook, who sat in the court, that it was for his victim the stuff of nightmares. She had fled into a bathroom and kicked the door, whereupon he pushed £30 under the door, no doubt in an effort to buy her silence. He said the third charge, which related to Lashbrook's second victim a decade later, noted that he had, on one occasion, came up behind her and tried to touch her breasts and bottom. He denied the allegations in an interview and called the girls liars right up until the day of the trial in July. Judge Johnson questioned Lashbrook's statement in his pre-sentence report, suggested he had seen limited remorse and had only accepted he had carried out the offences when it was explained to him by a probation officer the consequences of his continual denials. Judge Johnson also noted the huge disparity in age. Noting that he was taking into account the sentencing guidelines regarding mitigation and aggravating factors, including the guidance on such cases where imprisonment would adversely affect others who rely on the offender, Judge Johnson said he would pass a total sentence of 22 months suspended for 2 years. Lashbrook would also have to carry out 30 rehabilitation activity requirements, RAR days, and would be made subject of a sexual harm prevention order until a further order is made. Lashbrook was also prohibited from contact with any females under the age of 18, either directly or indirectly. Judge Johnson warned that any breaches, such as failing to engage with a rehabilitation activity requirement appointments, he would be returned to court to appear before himself. Detective Constable Craig Ferguson, who led the investigation, said, I welcome the conviction of Andrew Lashbrook for these offences. They were committed by him against children. Lashbrook sought to groom these children by presenting himself someone who could be trusted. In reality, this man found these children sexually attractive and he wanted to grope and assault them. After he had carried out these offences, he then sought to buy their silence with offers of money. Lashbrook only pleaded guilty to these offences at the 11th hour, after both of his victims had been put through the trauma of a police investigation, and after they had been prepared to give their evidence live to the court. I wish to pay tribute to both young women in this case who have shown tremendous bravery and strength in coming to the police, initially to report the matters and then in providing their evidence in coming to court to prepare for the trial. I would like to add that we have no confirmation that the said Andrew Lashbrook in the Devon Live report article I've just read is the relation of AJ Lashbrook. I'd just like to point out that it was brought to my attention that approximately 2 hours, 25 minutes, 42 seconds into the far-right Scum Off Our Street Speaker Corner open panel, hosted on the Ghost Speakers Corner, it was mentioned by Bleeding Heart that AJ's father was a paedophile. A preliminary search brings up the Devon Live news report. I'd like to do a big hello to the contributors in the chat at the moment. This is a very serious subject, and that's evident by Mandy Marlin's comment, heavy, of which it's only YouTube has written Lashbrook, Beast of Plymouth. Again, I'd just like to point out that the Andrew Lashbrook farm worker reported in the Devon Live article written by Carl Eve, crime reporter, and published on the 24th of August 2023, has yet been confirmed as the father of AJ Lashbrook. This is all conjecture. We would have to hear more from Bleeding Heart as to where she got her information from. And of course, we'll have to hear from AJ Lashbrook himself to either confirm or deny this very damaging news, this new information coming to light that AJ Lashbrook's father is a paedophile. And I do feel as if I've mispronounced the location, OKE, rather than Oakhampton. I don't know how to pronounce it any other way than Oakhampton, Okehampton. Either way, it's in Devon. One thing that did jump out of that article is how the victims of Andrew Lashbrook described how he simply didn't take no for an answer. And that really rang bells with me and resonated as to the behavior of AJ Lashbrook, because I'm sure I've said the same thing myself on many occasions, as has other people. He simply does not take no for an answer. Evidently, it runs in the family. Over to It's Only YouTube, who says in the chat, Adam of their family, Lashbrook, has suddenly gone very quiet. But of course, we need AJ Lashbrook to make a public statement as to this release of very damaging information made by Bleeding Heart yesterday, Thursday, 19th of December, 2024. Approximately 2 hours, 25 minutes, 42 seconds into a live stream titled Far Right Scum Off Our Streets, Speakers Corner Open Panel on the Ghost Speakers Corner YouTube channel. In case you haven't heard the exchange, I will play it for you now.
You've actually said
Then don't say it on the fucking internet.
What I would prefer to know is what you think of AJ's father being a
I don't know anything about AJ's father, and why would you?
Well, he is a paedophile. He's an actual paedophile. So what do you think?
No, your
that?
cousin's the paedophile.
Could you repeat that?
And so is your dad, Tom. And probably your brother as well.
Did you just say
of AJ's father being a paedophile?
What? Why would I be?
All right, well done. AJ managed to keep that quiet then, didn't he? You didn't read the newspapers.
Probably
is
not.
Is this woman like trying to be the master of distraction? Because it ain't working.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It ain't working.
Rapist
guys,
little
We
twat.
want to
What did you say
know.
about white
I told
chicks again? What did you
Travis.
say about
I
white
told
chicks?
Travis.
Ask AJ
We
about his
want
The
to
dad.
last
know.
thing I heard you say to AJ was, I love your
What?
videos. You make really good
You
videos.
beggy little tramp.
That's the last
Your
words I
mother.
heard
Beggy
you
little
say to
tramp.
AJ.
As you can appreciate, this is very pertinent news and should rightly be brought to the attention of the audience, only because of the incessant and constant false allegation AJ Lashbrook himself makes about other people being paedophiles. And I can attest to this myself because I've been at the receiving end of being falsely claimed to be a paedophile by AJ himself. And it's for this very reason that this news is rightly covered, because it just shows the hypocrisy and the perversion at the very heart of this dangerous gang of YouTube trolls, the usual suspects that we have come to fear and dread. So thank you ever so much for watching this special bulletin. We will be wrapping it up. I'd just like to thank you for your attention and thank the contributors. It's only YouTube, my friend Justin. And it's good to see Mandy Marlins back. We've missed you, Mandy. I'm sorry that this news bulletin was so somber, but this is vital information that is worthy of being reported on. And it's very important that this information is disseminated amongst our audience. And of course, the emphasis now is on Bleeding Heart to explain to the audience where she received this information. And of course, absolutely imperative that AJ Lashbrook comes forward and explains the situation. I myself has some pertinent questions I'd like to ask of AJ Lashbrook. Number one, we need to determine whether this said Andrew Lashbrook is indeed his father. Number two, we have to determine whether any pictures of Kaylee's children were sent to the father. And I've got some questions of my own, which, while I won't make public today, I will like to ask AJ myself publicly if ever he shows himself again. Until that time, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for joining me. We will wrap off this special news bulletin by again listening to the exchange which took place at approximately 2 hours, 25 minutes, 42 seconds into Ghost Speakers Corner live stream on Thursday the 19th of December 2024. Far right scum off our streets. Speakers Corner open panel.
But you've actually said
I
Then
would
don't
like to
say
know-
it on the fucking internet.
What I would prefer
You gave
to know
us
is what you
paedophile.
think of AJ's father being a
I don't know anything about
pedophile.
AJ's father, and why would you?
But he is a pedophile. He's an actual
So-
pedophile. So what do you think
No,
about
your
that?
cousin's the paedophile.
Could you repeat
for
that?
nutsing your
And so's your
daughter.
dad, can't.
Look,
And probably your brother as
you-
well.
Did
you're
you
not
just
aware
say?
of AJ's father being a pedophile?
What?
Why
Did
would
you
I
tell
be?
inside, man?
All right, well done. AJ managed to keep that quiet then, didn't he? You didn't read the newspapers.
Probably
Is
not.
this woman
No.
like trying to be the master of distraction? Because it ain't
Oh,
working.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It ain't
I
working.
think you
Rapist
guys
little
would
We
be
want
better
to
What did you say
know.
about
I
white
told
chicks again?
Travis.
What did you say
I
about white
told
chicks?
Travis.
Ask AJ
We
about his
want to
The
dad.
last thing I heard you say to AJ was, I love your
What?
videos. You make really good
You
videos.
beggy little tramp.
That's the last
Your
words I
mother.
heard you
Little
say to
tramp.
AJ.
If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel I will be doing a follow-on news bulletin once further information is made available. Andrew Lashbrook hiding in plain sight. With this in mind, we'll just have to stress that there is no confirmation as of yet that the said Andrew Lashbrook reported in the Devon Live news article, man who abused young girls given suspended sentence, reported by the crime reporter Carl Eve on the 24th of August 2023, is in any way related to the YouTube troll we all know as AJ Lashbrook. But as I've said, please subscribe to this channel because there will be further bulletins once further information is brought to light. Until that time, I would just like to thank everyone for their attention and be ever vigilant for those people who shout the loudest that they are the best, who shout the loudest that they are the most righteous, who shout the loudest that they are the most moral. Because it is those people who are more often than not the most degraded, the most perverted, and the most degenerate. And that definitely fits the modus operandi of the YouTube troll we all know as AJ Lashbrook. Thank you ever so much for everyone for getting involved, and please, for the sake of public awareness, share this video, discuss it. Until the next time, beware of those people who make out they're the good, because as we know, they are the worst. Until the next time, ask AJ about his dad.
Oh, AJ's got a story, he tells it loud and proud. A spotlight seeker shining, always drawing a crowd. But when the question rises, so simple, so direct, his voice falls to silence and the truth he neglects. Then he steps in, speaking for the man, covering the silence, doing all he can. But the question's still burning clear as the sun. Is Andrew Lashbrook your father, or are you on the run? AJ's got a rhythm, a narrative to spin. Yeah, when it comes to answers, he won't let us in. The shadow of a name lingers in the air, but AJ won't confirm it. Does he even dare? Then he steps in, speaking for the man, covering the silence, doing all he can. But the question's still burning clear as the sun. Is Andrew Lashbrook your father, or are you on the run? AJ's got a rhythm, a narrative to spin. Yeah, when it comes to answers, he won't let us in. The shadow of a name lingers in the air, but AJ won't confirm it. Does he even dare? Then he steps in, speaking for the man, covering the silence, doing all he can. But the question's still burning clear as the sun. Is Andrew Lashbrook your father, or are you on the run? What's the way you're hiding? What's the truth you fear? Is it shame or denial that keeps you unclear? The world is waiting, the spotlight's on, but AJ's silence speaks louder than his songs. Then he steps in, speaking for the man, covering the silence, doing all he can. But the question's still burning clear as the sun. Is Andrew Lashbrook your father, or are you on the run? Oh, AJ, the echoes grow louder each day. No matter how much Danny has to say, the truth is a way only you can reveal. So why stay silent? Just tell us what's real. I once walked in shadows of secrets I kept. A man from Okehampton is past so adept. A name in the papers, a story of shame. But here's where the whispers start to play a different game. Father and son, a tale untold. One's heart heavy, the other bold. No proof to link, yet the rumors fly. Under the same name, under the same sky. I speak out loud, fire in my voice. Calling out the darkness, I make my noise. But what if my words, they echo too close to a sin of the father, a past that's morose? I serve my time with a sentence in hand, but society's judgment, oh, it's hard to withstand. If you're looking for truth, look beyond the name. Sometimes guilt is passed like a flame. No confirmation, no family tree, just speculation to fuel the spree. I stand accused by my own accusations, and this world of mirrors of reflections. Father and son, a tale untold. One's heart heavy, the other bold. No proof to link, yet the rumors fly. Under the same name, under the same sky. I speak out loud with fire in my voice. Calling out the darkness, I make my noise. But what if my words, they echo too close to a sin of the father, a past that's morose? So here we stand at the crossroads of fate. One with the past, one with the slate. Are we bound by blood, or just by name? In the song of life, who's to blame? Father and son, a song we sing, of innocence lost and the truth that we cling. But until the day the facts come to light, we'll dance with our shadows through the night.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Matt Taylor, broadcasting live from Brighton. Be right on in Brighton. So we have had a response from AJ Lashbrook. You may know him by the YouTube handles of Lucifer and Unlisted. So just to recap about what happened today, I woke up with a pertinent piece of information that YouTuber Bleeding Heart had made a claim about AJ Lashbrook at approximately 2 hours, 25 minutes, 42 seconds into the Ghost Speaker Corner's YouTube channel's yesterday's live stream, Far Right Scum of Our Streets. So, of course, I immediately went over to have a listen what was said. And Bleeding Heart claimed that AJ's father was a paedophile, and that it had been recorded, been reported in the newspapers. So, of course, you know, it was a very quick check, a Google check, and it leads me to a Devon Live news article, August 2023, and I think it was also reported in the Plymouth Herald as well, August 2023. A certain gentleman under the name Andrew Lashbrook had indeed been found guilty of sexual crimes against 2 children, and the rest is in the public domain. Now, of course, I consider it a public interest story because AJ Lashbrook goes around accusing everyone of being a paedophile, myself included. And so, of course, I would be interested in a news story of this nature and this magnitude. And so I went live earlier on. I'd done a video. I clipped what was said on the Ghost Speakers Corner YouTube, and I clipped that particular bit of Bleeding Heart. Now, throughout the day, other snippets of information have come through. One particular researcher found Andrew Lashbrook on Facebook, and I think what we'll do, we'll quickly play that particular video, just so we can all get an understanding of what is going on. So bear with me while I share the screen. Here we go. This is from Nightlarp, Project Nightlarp.
Left behind a trail of shame. Now AJ's got a different name. AJ's daddy's off in Thailand. Oh, he's a Nonce, but don't you know? AJ goes around finger pointing high, accusing others of his daddy's lie. In the streets with a loud voice, AJ makes a lot of noise. He points at you, he points at me, but it's his dad's legacy, can't you see? AJ's daddy's off in Thailand. Oh, he's a Nonce, but don't you know? AJ goes around finger pointing high, accusing others of his daddy's lie. Oh, AJ, you've got to see the irony in your decree. Pointing fingers, making a stand, but it's your daddy's dirty hand. With a smirk and a sly grin, AJ's the accuser, but where's he been? He's projecting, oh, can't you see? His daddy's sins, he's trying to flee. AJ's daddy's off in Thailand. Oh, he's a Nonce, but don't you know? AJ goes around finger pointing high, accusing others of his daddy's lie. So here we are with AJ's song. His accusations, they don't belong. He's pointing fingers left and right, but we all know it's not quite right.
I mean, I'm the first to point out that's circumstantial evidence, but it does explain a lot of things. If AJ's father was himself a convicted sexual offender, that projection would be a natural reaction from a person in his position. We also have to point out to the audience that AJ himself has got a conviction for cruelty against animals, and I contend, and I continue to contend, because I heard it with my own ears, that AJ's got 8 other convictions undisclosed, but that's neither here nor there, according to him. So, of course, since the morning, there was speculation, as claimed by Bleeding Heart on the Ghost Speakers Corner YouTube channel, that AJ's father was a convicted paedophile. So we didn't hear anything from AJ throughout the day. The first time we did hear anything from that so-called camp, so to speak, was from Danny Jones. Danny Jones involving himself a well-known YouTube personality, famous for his contentious accusations. So I found it quite surprising that he should enter the fray, but enter the fray he did. I set out 3 questions, 3 pertinent questions, which I think is important to answer. Number 1, is AJ's father's name Andrew? Number 2, is he a farm worker? That could have been summed up. Is the Andrew Sorry, I don't know why I said Taylor there. Is is the Andrew featured in the Plymouth Herald and the Devon Live news reports, is the Andrew Lashbrook AJ's father? I mean, I think that'd been better just to keep the question simple. But also, I asked the third question of, did AJ pass on pictures of Kaylee's children to him? Maybe that wasn't particularly necessary. But either way, Danny Jones' response was somewhat cryptic and dismissive. He says, "No," is your answer, Matthew. Bleeding heart, the troll Izzy and she Easy running around pretending to be a man, pissing myself laughing. So he finds it funny. I found it very interesting that rather than deny the allegations himself, Danny Jones comes in and denies the allegation by saying, "No is your answer, Matthew. Bleeding heart, the troll, and C is E running around pretending to be a man, pissing myself laughing." I don't feel as if it's a very comprehensive response. I'm just double checking. Yeah, I mean, that's what kind of answer is that? You know, I'm essentially asking, is this Andrew Lashbrook, named as the convicted paedophile in the August 2023 news report, is this Andrew Lashbrook, the father of AJ? And all we get from Danny Jones, Hoax Police, is "No is your answer, Matthew. Bleeding heart, the troll Izzy, and she Easy running around pretending to be a man, pissing myself laughing." So I don't really understand what's supposed to mean. But the whole point of this is that since then we have got a response from AJ. We have got a response from AJ. So let's look at that now. Writing under unlisted, AJ writes, and he finds it funny, which is peculiar in itself, because I certainly don't think it's funny. So this is AJ's response: "You lot don't half come out with some utter crap. If I'm in mid-40s to late 40s, that means stinky knickers, Lavenham's child abuser is not far off 50 to mid-50s. Take that in itself. I don't know why he's bringing in somebody else. All we want to know is a yes or no answer. Is Andrew Lashbrook your father?" But instead, he brings in stinky knickers, whoever that may be. So here we have AJ actually addressing this. If this Andrew is my dad, well, we're asking the question, but AJ says, if this Andrew is my dad, he owes me 30 odd years worth of Christmas and present, or it's supposed to be, and birthday presents. He obviously forgets to fucking add pertinent letters when he's trying to form a sentence. It's quite annoying, really. But mind you, that's how he sometimes forgets to add letters, which is why I call myself Brighton's best. So anyway, so here we have AJ laughing it off, totally laughing it off, pretty much claiming that if Andrew is my dad, he owes me 30 odd years of Christmas and birthday presents, and he owes my mother 16 years of child maintenance. You retarded degenerates can crack on with your delusions. Okay, So there we go. There we go. We have it. I mean, anyone who believes that this Andrew Lashbrook, convicted paedophile, is AJ's father, is a retarded degenerate who can crack on with their delusions. Hello, Lenny. Hello, Justin in the chat room. So Andrew is 60 years old. Well, 60 last year. Adam is now 36. Right. So is that how old he is? Adam's 36, is it? I didn't know that. Adam's 36 minus 61. What's the sums? 4, 5. So 25. So that would make Andrew 25 when he had AJ. Right. So can we have confirmation that AJ is 36? Pretty good stuff. I thought he looks way bloody too old for that. I mean, that was just me guesstimating, that was, to be fair. To be fair. Oh, but really, you know, what have we had a straight denial? I suppose we have, haven't we? Have we had a straight denial from AJ Lashbrook? Yeah. AJ Lashbrook is saying you're all a bunch of degenerates if you think that Andrew Lashbrook is my father. So that 1988 is the year of Lashbrook's birth. There we go. Matt, the article about Adam, the dog beater, clearly says, oh, thank you ever so much. Adam was 31 in 2019. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you ever so much, Justin. We have confirmation because of the article printed in 2019. Lenny says, have you got stuck into the selection box yet, Matt? I've finished my after eights anyway. Joe Soap would like to jump on. Yes, Joe Soap, I can let you jump on. I will let you jump on. Joe Soap. Of course, if you are someone, if you're Plisco or James Hind, then I will immediately bump you off, so to speak. I will immediately bump you off. Will I go live on Christmas Day, Lenny? That's a big no. That's a negative. That's a no. Okay, so thank you for Justin. He's corrected me. I myself put AJ mid-40s, late 50s. But I have been corrected. Thank you ever so much. I have been corrected. AJ was born in 1988. Confirmed by the news report, which says that Adam, AJ of the Lashbrook family, AJ of the Lashbrook family was 31 in 2019. Right, said Fred was. Guess who Joe Soap is? I don't know. I don't know who Joe Soap is, Fred. Oh, here we have a visitor. Let's see who it is. It looks like it may well be Convid. Hello.
I don't want to stop others coming on the panel, but I just thought I'd just stress that Adam is definitely getting triggered here because the article, like you said, clearly says his age. So
Yes.
how can he claim to be in his 40s when the article about him in court from 2019 says he's 31. Now, Adam, I'll clear that up.
No, but Justin, I implied he was in his mid to late 40s.
Well, that just proves that it's him then, because there's no denying it.
Well, what he hasn't done, he hasn't really, to my satisfaction anyway, gone far enough to reassure the audience that this Andrew Lashbrook is not his father.
Let me ask you a simple question, Matt, and this is for the audience as well. Does Adam having an accent from Devon, is that a coincidence that his father is from Devon?
I think he surely has. And I remember, all this is circumstantial.
But it's the accent. He's got a Devon accent, hasn't he?
Andrew Lashbrook is about the right age. That would make Andrew Lashbrook about 25.
Yep.
And AJ was Wharton World. And also, I do believe they had the same make of bike.
Yep.
Because another researcher, i.e. Project Nightlark, has found Andrew Lashbrook on Facebook. And so let me just look at...
This is making too much sense.
Well, it would be nice to get clarification from...
Well, Lyndon jumped in all excited, didn't he? Lyndon got all excited.
A Kawasaki. I don't know. I'm terrible at pronouncing things. Kawasaki motorbike. Kawasaki. Kawasaki. I do believe that's the same make of motorbike which Andrew Lashbrook drives, and
just another coincidence, eh, Matt?
Coincidence.
Just another coincidence.
I mean, it turns out that AJ's suspected father, Andrew Lashbrook, lives in the pedo paradise that we all know as Thailand. And it's, of course, that is where all pedos go when they've been exposed in the UK. And so that's
what. Yep. So that's why I jumped. That's the only reason I jumped on, just to clarify the age, because I know people are getting confused about, is he older than he looks and all that. But it's just, all we got to do is go back to the court case, and his age is clearly stated there at 31.
Well, look, would you mind just hang on there for a moment, Justin? Because in the chat, we've got this Joe Soap, who says the article got a lot wrong.
Oh, really?
And it's actually saying Adam is in his late 40s.
Utter bollocks.
Right, okay.
Utter bollocks. How can you get someone's age over 10 years wrong?
Yeah, but then again, I do know the newspapers are terrible for getting the
facts. But they got their information from the court, Matt. Don't forget that.
Hey, listen.
They got their information from the court.
I've had my sentence read out wrong.
Okay, well, if you want to think that Adam's older than 35, that's up to you. I know that he is in his mid-30s.
Good. Okay, yeah.
There's no way he can wriggle out of this.
Either way, whether he's mid to late 40s or mid-30s to late 30s, the time frame matches.
He's not in his mid-40s.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even if he was, Andrew Lashbrook could still be his father.
Yep. But as I say, he's definitely in his mid-30s. And I know that. I don't want to get other people into trouble, if you get my drift. But people that know him have confirmed to me he's definitely mid-30s. We'll leave it at that. Yeah,
well, I'm glad that's been
I think you know what I'm saying.
Yes. But also, I would like to point out what Lenny is saying in the chat room, that just because you live in Thailand, that doesn't make you a wrong. And I think that's very important to point out. Quite right, Lenny. Quite right. So, yes.
I never thought I'd say this, but we need Adam on the panel to clear this up.
I know. I mean, I've actually got some personal questions, one or two questions I'd like to ask him myself.
I'll step down. I know he's watching.
Well, oh God, even I can't believe I would invite him on. But I
Well,
think
he's got to clear this up because it's not going to go away, is it?
I think this is a very kind of like serious. I know he's laughing it off. He thinks it's very funny, as does
Wow.
Danny Jones. Apparently Danny Jones is pissing himself laughing.
They're laughing at young girls being abused by a man.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
They find that amusing, do they?
You know, and there is a reason why AJ Lashbrook keeps himself secretive, keeps his backstory a secret.
Matt,
and
this is all making sense, Matt. This is all coming to a head now.
And Lenny says, "Who is this Adam geezer?" We're talking about AJ Lashbrook. Lenny, crikey. I know. He's funny, isn't he, Lenny?
We love you, Lenny.
He's not a laughing stock. He's a valued member of the audience.
Oh,
to add.
Absolutely.
Right. So look, while you're here, Justin, I just want to get my head around this. I wonder where Bleeding Heart got the information from. Can you answer any of that for us, maybe?
Well, I don't want to deflect, but I remember the name Andrew Lashbrook was mentioned in your chat a while ago.
Really? Wow.
And Katie, I'm not getting her into trouble, but she said the name.
Oh, right. I must have missed that.
So Katie picked up on it.
Yeah. So we've got Joe Soap in the chat, says they are laughing at you lot making false accusations. Wow.
Well, hold on a minute. Didn't Joe Soap ask for the link?
Yeah. Oh, Jay, what's his name? Joe Soap asked to come on.
Yeah.
And he hasn't yet taken up the opportunity of coming on.
Well, there you go. Then I'll make way for Joe Soap because Joe Soap's begged you for the link. So Joe Soap wants to come on panel and clear all this up. Okay, there you go, Joe. It's yours.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come on, Joe. Listen, it's not accusations from us. I've made it very clear right from the start that there is no confirmation. There's no solid evidence that links Andrew Lashbrook with AJ Lashbrook. Okay, I'll put my hand up. I thought Lashbrook was older than he was, but thankfully Justin has corrected me on that. So, you know, it's fair to say because of the article 2019, AJ Lashbrook is in his he's 36 according to the math. According to the maths, he's 36. I was going to go until he showed up. Well, look, Joe, apparently, it's a name from the past, really. Right Said Fred. Apparently, Right Said Fred says, guess who JS is? You're more than welcome to come on. But ultimately, we do need AJ to come on himself and, you know, put these rumors to bed. Because for whatever reason, it's now out there in the public domain that this Andrew Lashbrook, a convicted paedophile from Devon, is AJ's father. Circumstantial evidence point to the conclusion that is the correct conclusion to come to at this point in time. I'm not going to be around here. I'm not going to be going live until after Christmas now. And so this is the only opportunity we have to discuss this. And I think it is very important that we do discuss it, especially as myself being a victim of this AJ Lashbrook going around calling me a paedophile. And as the lyrics from Project Nightlark tells us and alludes to, it does explain a lot that AJ is going around calling everyone a paedophile, because in actual fact, he's projecting his father's sins onto others. It's very interesting. And it's in the public interest, because it's AJ Lashbrook who's going around calling everybody else a paedophile. I mean, what on earth is going on here? So Joe Soap says, so what if it's his father? What's your point? My point is that is AJ Lashbrook exposing his father? Why is AJ Lashbrook going around falsely accusing myself, for example, of being a paedophile, phoning up my local pub, telling them that I'm a paedophile, when his own father is a paedophile? And then it opens up a whole can of worms of like father, like son. Is he projecting for his father's benefit, or does he also carry those same paedophilic traits as his father? So the point is, it's very relevant, because if it transpires that Andrew Lashbrook is indeed AJ Lashbrook's father, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so to speak. The same perversion that's in Andrew is also in AJ. The very fact that he is the most prolific person who goes around on the YouTube calling everybody else a nonce identifies himself as one. So I think it's very relevant as to whether Andrew Lashbrook is AJ's father. Joe Soap says, your mother abused you and your sister, Matt. So what? Did she abuse me in what way? I can accuse my mother of neglect in a certain respect, but I wouldn't describe it as abuse. Over to Lenny, trying to change the subject. We are talking about AJ Lashbrook here, Lenny. So if you don't mind, we'll gloss over your question, bringing Brian Harvey into the equation. I think we've spoken about that enough already. Hey, listen, I'm just looking at Joe Soap's comment. Is that your fault? You told him in the pub yourself. Do you have the same child abusing traits as your mother? Number one, who is this Joe Soap? Because you're deflecting. We're not talking about me and my mother. We're talking about AJ and his father. The worst I can accuse my mother of is neglect. I certainly don't feel as if my mother abused me. But yet, tragically, my mother was groomed by a paedophile who then went on to abuse my sister. So I'm one removed of abuse going through childhood. And yes, my childhood was a damaged childhood because of the abuse my sister suffered. But that aside, my mother is dead now. My mother is gone. And this isn't about my mother. This is about AJ and his father. So Joe Soap, very interesting that you should come in. You've asked for the opportunity to come on. I've given you the means to come on, but yet you still haven't come on. What does that say about you? While you may be talking about my mother, I'm talking about AJ's father. My mother isn't a part of the equation here. My mother had no convictions for child abuse. Who is your dad anyway? Says Joe Soap. The truther says your mum was done for street walking. Oh, God. The truther. Horrible. Sounds like the mouse to me. Looks like Sussex Police will be seeing you soon, Big Lips. Wasn't that your nickname at school? Hey, listen, that's fine. What I understand and what I've come to expect from AJ is that AJ doesn't do his own dirty business. He gets other people to do it for him. And already we had Danny Jones, the first person coming in, pissing himself laughing, trying to defend AJ. AJ himself has left a comment, a bit cryptic, a bit dismissive, calling anyone who thinks Andrew Lashbrook is his father a retarded degenerate. And now we've got the trolls coming in, deflecting. So I'm not going to hang around any much longer. This is purely just to give the update. This is an update. We haven't really particularly got a decisive and comprehensive denial from AJ Lashbrook. All he writes is, you lot don't half come out with some utter crap. If I'm in mid-40s to late 40s, that must mean Stinky Lickers, Lavenham's child abuser, is not far off 50 to mid-50s. If this Andrew is my dad, he owes me 30-odd years worth of Christmas and birthday presents, and he owes my mother 16 years of child maintenance. You retarded degenerates can crack on with your delusions. So that's it. That's all I have to report. That is all this update is. According to AJ, anyone who thinks Andrew Lashbrook is his father, we're all deluded. We're all retarded degenerates. You know, and that's exactly the type of language we've come to expect from AJ. So, are we any the wiser? The answer is no. Has this cleared up the issue? The answer is no. Is AJ Lashbrook anywhere to be seen? The answer is no. Has AJ Lashbrook had the opportunity to quash these rumours? The answer is yes. Does it still seem likely that Andrew Lashbrook is AJ Lashbrook's father? The answer is yes. So, until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, remember, there's a lot of bullshit going around. There's a lot of bullshit. Left, right, and centre. Be careful of those people who shout from the rooftops that they're the most correct, that they're the best, they're the good, they're the most morally strong individuals in town. Beware of those people who throw stones at others and then hide behind the shadows when anything is said against them. Am I any the wiser as to who AJ Lashbrook's father is? No, I'm not. Is this a public interest story? Yes, it damn well is. Have we heard the last of this? No, we haven't. What needs to happen next? We need to hear from Bleeding Heart. So anyway, everyone, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's Friday the 20th of December. Christmas is only A week away. Hope everyone has a good time. I hope this Christmas AJ gets to have a Christmas present from his father. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you especially for Justin for coming on and confirming the age of AJ. I got that wrong. I'll put my hands up. He looks an old fucking haggard bastard, in my opinion. He's one ugly fucking... Honestly, to be fair, he looks like a sex offender. Whenever I look at a picture of the AJ, and the first thing that comes to mind is a sex offender. Which, funny enough, is allegedly what his father is. But anyway, let's not let this spoil your Christmas. Okay? Have a good time. I would like to leave the last word to my friend Justin. It is so obvious that Adam is extremely triggered by the exposing of Andrew Lashbrook. So without any further ado, I'll let you go and get on with the evening. Thank you everyone for joining me.
But you've actually said
Then
I
don't
would
say
do-
it on the fucking internet.
I would prefer
You
to
gave
know
us
what you
deciding.
think of AJ's father being a
I don't
fucking
know anything about
pedophile.
AJ's father, and why would you?
Well, he is a pedophile. He's an actual
So-
pedophile. So what do you think
No,
about
your
that?
cousin's the paedophile.
Could you repeat
but
that?
that's your
And so's your
daughter.
dad, Con.
Look,
And probably your brother-in-law.
you're
Did you
not
just say?
aware of AJ's father being a pedophile.
Why would
Did you
I
tell
be?
us that, man?
All right, well done. AJ managed to keep that quiet then, didn't he? You didn't read the newspapers.
Probably
Is
not.
this woman
No.
look like trying to be the master of distraction? Because it ain't
Oh,
working.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It ain't
these
working.
two
Rapist
guys
little
will
We
be
want
better
you
What did you
know.
say about white
I shall
chicks?
try
What
this.
did you say about
I
white
shall
chicks?
try
Ask
this.
AJ
We
about his
want
The
dad.
last thing I heard you say to AJ was, "I love your videos. You make really good
You
videos."
beggy little tramp.
That's the last
Your
words I
mother
heard
is
you
little
say to
tramp.
AJ.
Before I go, I'll just like to point out a message from Frank Quietly. Just had confirmation through, and Andrew is Adam's father. Interesting. Very interesting. I'll just like to play the video posted by Project Nightlark.
Took a flight to Thailand, he ran, left behind a trail of shame. Now AJ's got a different name. AJ's daddy's off in Thailand, oh, he's a nonce, but don't you know? AJ goes around finger pointing high, accusing others of his daddy's lie. In the streets, with a loud voice, AJ makes a lot of noise. He points at you, he points at me, but it's his dad's legacy, can't you see? AJ's daddy's off in Thailand, oh, he's a nonce, but don't you know? AJ goes around finger pointing high, accusing others of his daddy's lie. Oh, AJ, you've got to see the irony in your decree. Pointing fingers, making a stand, but it's your daddy's dirty hands. With a smirk and a sly grin, AJ's the accuser, but where's he been? He's projecting, oh, can't you see? His daddy's sins, he's trying to flee. AJ's daddy's off in Thailand, oh, he's a nonce, but don't you know? AJ goes around finger pointing high, accusing others of his daddy's lie. So here we are, with AJ's song. His accusations, they don't belong. He's pointing fingers
Till the next time, everyone, have a merry, happy Christmas and a wonderful New Year.
My life's been twisted, battered, and bruised. For far too long I've been lost, misused, pushed around in words like chains, drowning in a sea of their hate and pain.
But deep inside there's a spark, a flame, a voice that whispers rise again.
No more shadows, no more lies.
I'm reaching up, touching the skies.
I'm taking back control, reclaiming my heart and soul. No more will I fall, I'm standing tall. The darkness fades away, I'm stepping into the day. This is my time to roll, I'm taking back control. They try to break me, tear me apart, but they can't touch the strength in my heart. I fought my demons, I faced my fears. Now I'm done with the wasted tears.
The trolls can rage, their storms may blow, but my roots run deep and my spirit won't go. With every scar I've learned to fight. Now I'm the thunder, I'm the light.
I'm taking back control, reclaiming my heart and soul. No more will I fall, I'm standing tall. The darkness fades away, I'm stepping into the day. This is my time to roll, I'm taking back control. Every word they threw, I've turned to steel. Every wound they gave, I've learned to heal. The power's mine, the future's clear. I'm done with the pain, the shame, the fear. I'm taking back control, reclaiming my heart and soul. No more will I fall, I'm standing tall. The darkness fades away, I'm stepping into the day. This is my time to roll, I'm taking back control. The shadows fade, the past is gone. A brighter dawn is where I belong. With every breath I'll claim my role. I'm taking back control, taking back control.
Oops, it's a daisy. No, I do feel terrible for poor AJ. I mean, I know it happens to kids, but God, that would be absolutely terrible to have that AJ Lashbrook as a dad. Oh, poor AJ, he's always at the receiving end, isn't he? He's always at the receiving end of false allegations. I mean, it's terrible, really, all the rumours that he had a part to play in Sabina's death. You know, I heard someone made out he was responsible for driving some old bird to death. You know, being convicted of animal cruelty when clearly that wasn't the case. As he says, the dog jumped up repeatedly and hit his clenched fist. And now this latest bullshit. You know, being told that his father is a convicted paedophile. It's just, poor guy. I really feel for him. But, you know, I'm glad Danny Jones has kind of like, you know, put the whole matter to bed, really. If it weren't for Danny Jones coming along and putting us straight, you know, I think the rumours would have persisted. And I think it's only right and proper that Danny Jones should be the one to put these rumours to bed because, you know, he has got credibility. You know, and I do feel as if Danny Jones is held in very high esteem in this community. So basically what Danny Jones says, you know, people can take that at face value. You know, if Danny Jones says something is or isn't true, you can be rest assured that that's good information, really. Yeah, so anyway, you know, it's a bit of drama today, bit of drama. But I'm glad it's all been put to bed. And I'm glad AJ's been vindicated. You know. So whoever this Andrew Lashbrook is, it isn't AJ's dad. You know. Because it would have been terrible if he was. I'm just so glad for AJ that Andrew Lashbrook isn't his dad. Because that would have just changed the whole narrative, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't think AJ would be able to like be seen on YouTube again after, you know, after all the allegations AJ makes of other people being paedophiles. That transpires that he's a son of a paedophile. You know, I don't think he could have survived that, really. But, you know, some people may not think he's done enough to quash the rumours. But Danny Jones, you know, we all know Danny Jones has got credibility. And we all know how in high esteem Danny Jones is seen in our community. No, I think it's very, you know, and it says a lot about AJ that he's got friends like Danny Jones who would support him at a drop of a hat. You know, with friends like Danny Jones, you don't need to defend yourself, basically. You don't need to defend yourself when you've got mates like Danny Jones. And even if you've got no credibility yourself or you aren't actually held in high esteem yourself, having a mate who has got that credibility and who is held in high esteem, just having him come out and saying, listen, it's rubbish. The answer is no. You know, that's all you need, really. So, yeah. I'm glad this particular candle, not candle, I don't know. I think it's good that this particular scandal can be put to bed before Christmas. Because it would have been terrible for AJ to have gone through the Christmas period with this hanging over him. At least he can go into the Christmas period, you know, knowing that everyone knows that Andrew Lashbrook, the paedophile, is not my father, you know. And that's good. That's good. So I'm really happy for him there. You know, we all get carried away. When you hear this kind of stuff, I think it's only right and proper to get to the bottom of it. You know, you hear all this stuff being bandied about in the public. You know, a lot of it is misinformation, a lot of it is truth. And so it's important to differentiate what is misinformation, lies, and what is truth. And I think we've done a good job on that today. You know, Danny Jones has assured us that it's not true. And you know, that's going to be enough for people. And you know, it's only because Danny's got credibility. And it's only because Danny's held in such high esteem. I don't think anyone else could have come out and just said, no, that's rubbish. And people would have believed it, you know. But I think it is testimony to AJ's high standing in our community, that he has got those friends who will stand up for him. And, you know, good on you, mate. Good on you. I mean, as that somebody just mentioned in the last comment, they said AJ has denied the allegations, you know, and hopefully we'll put that to bed. I replied saying, you know, I deny the allegations that I'm a paedophile made by AJ. But that doesn't necessarily stop AJ calling me a paedophile. But, you know, things are different with their side. You know, allegations are made, they deny it, and we just have to live by that, you know. We've got to stop making those allegations because they've denied it. I know it works differently with them on us. I mean, they make allegations against me, I deny it, and they just say that's rubbish and carry on making the allegations. But it's funny how, you know, it's funny. We do live in a kind of state of one rule for them and one rule for us, you know. But, you know, that's like the police state Britain we live in. You know, we've got this funny kind of scenario in which the minority rules supreme. And, you know, Satanism is a minority religion, but yet, you know, they've got credibility in that. There's credibility in being a minority. I don't quite understand it. I mean, I'm learning the new paradigm as we go along. But yeah. So I'd just like to say good night then. And I'm glad it's all been you know, sorted out, basically. I'm glad it's all been sorted out. All right, how do I turn this off? How do I turn this off?